What is up, everybody? As you can see, look at this, Boostedlifestyle shop shirts. This one's a little bit too big for me. This was just a sample one. So we did put them on the website. I'm gonna order myself a couple mediums. This is a large. But Dan's on his way over here right now. And I'm gonna give him this one because it's just a bit too big for me and uncomfortable. But I'll wear my new DD Speed Shop shirt. And then this is the other Dan from DD Speed Shop. I might get this one a little bit dirty, but whatever. It's gonna be cool because I'm wearing it in the video. Anyways, we got our Summit order in today. And unfortunately, living in Canada, Summit Racing is a week shipping away and not overnight. We got a bunch of stuff. This is actually my DD Speed Shop flag. Gotta hang that up after. I bought some Dash 16 stuff. I bought it for regular AN lines. And then I went ahead and bought PTFE line by accident. I thought this was regular, like, braided nylon stuff. So that's $200 in hose that I'm not going to get back.
Got hose. I got hose.
We also bought some LS valve covers. And these ones, they don't have brackets for the coils because we're not gonna be running coils. Unfortunately, I do have to grind down the polish because we gotta weld two AN bungs on here for vent lines. So that's those ones. That was where the AN line came, unfortunately, sad. I did buy a scavenge pump. I did not look at the dimensions before I bought it. This is gonna be way too large to be a scavenge pump. But I also bought this before we decided we were gonna mount our turbo in the front up higher. So it might be high enough now that I do not need a scavenge pump and it can gravity drain back into the block. We got a 10 micron post fuel pump filter. This is Y block for our fuel rails, and then some assortment of AN fittings and our coil relocation harnesses and brackets. So we've definitely got enough stuff to start the video today. Dan's on his way over here. He's gonna tackle some shit. I'm gonna tackle some shit. We can't get the radiator done like I anticipated. Our fittings aren't here, and now our lines aren't here. We can get it mocked up semi, what we need for lines and stuff. But I think what I'm gonna tackle first is coils. We got to get the coils done. So from ITC Billet, we do have these remote coil brackets, and we do have two sets of coils. These are supposedly the better ones, according to Charlie. So we'll just grab two random. This one's busted, Charlie. What the heck? So we'll just grab two sets. One's for my car, one's for Virginia's.
Pretty.
Oh, there he is.
Pretty. Shiny.
This one isn't gonna fit me, so you can have this one.
What?
It's a large, it's too big.
Really?
Yes.
Well, then I guess I'll have to try it on.
Yes.
Yes!
Oh yeah, put it on.
Oh, yeah.
The only difference between me and you is
I'm fat?
a little bit of extra belly there. Even
Yeah.
though I got a big belly now too, so. Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
You're my new model. Ain't gonna sell much, but.
No, that's it's not for the better.
Fits. There you go.
Yeah.
Stick shop shirt.
It actually fits.
So Dan's gonna work on the fuel lines here. We're gonna go 8 with a 90 on this side and 8 with a 90 on the other side. They're gonna go under the intake manifold. Meet up right here somewhere. They're gonna go to this T fitting or Y fitting. That's a dash 10, and then it's gonna go 10 from here all the way back to the pump. The wild alien makes an appearance today.
Just a quick one. I just came to see if Dan liked the shirt. That's
He
all.
does like the shirt. He better like the shirt.
Better fucking like the shirt.
I already told Kyle, like, it's really comfy. It's like, really comfy.
Well, it's the Dickies brand or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
it's nice.
What kind of brand?
It's the Dickies brand.
Ooh,
Dickies.
work it. I bet you're going to
Don't
play Twitch now.
Yeah.
I mean,
see if I can
Among
find
Us.
some people who play Among Us on Twitch.
Sad.
Why?
Okay.
Why's that sad?
Have fun. Enjoy your different audience, lady.
What?
Don't come out here and help us with cars. I get it. You grinding. Grind that door real quick.
Right, dude.
Oh yeah.
Bye.
You're not gonna be able to screw off like this when we start building your car.
No, because it's gonna be my channel then.
And she's out, I guess. Get glam. Get clam, actually. Bam. Get clam. The man himself showed up as well. Look at that. Got the whole team vibing today. Vibe.
I'm wearing my Kent hoodie.
Your Kent hoodie?
Yeah, me and Kent used to wear the same hoodie, and then Kent stopped hanging out with us.
I don't know. Tokyo's gonna grab the fuel injectors out. What the hell is that? There's a beaver on it. That seems real Canadian. We're gonna take the injectors out of this manifold, put them in that one, because we need them. Tokyo's gonna be on that job. See, we're all dividing and conquering. That's what we do to hose, right? Am I right?
Yeah. I don't know who's conquering hose.
You got a hot tub now, so.
Spaghetti hose.
He act like a hot tub, ain't got a hose. Here we go. This is what I have set up, and being a cheap ass, and I just use the old motor mount to mount our coil brackets to. So it'll be bolted on with these bottom 2 bolts. Can't get that 3rd bolt there, I don't think. And it's just 5 mil tapped into it. Ground flat on the backside, and that should be our coil mounts. It's gonna fit right down there, and it barely clears the steering shaft. So we got our coils mounted down here. I'm just gonna grab the header. I'm gonna see how close these wires sit to it. We might have to get some custom wires built. It would be that one, yes sir.
I did it in my head.
And they're hitting, aren't they?
I would just like to point out for the folks at home that there is still an 80 mil turbo hanging from zip ties on a engine stand.
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Just dangling like a stripper on payday.
Who thinks we should put that 80 mil turbo on Tokyo's car? Because his turbos are smoking.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, because his turbos are smoking right now. And instead of buying another $800 or $900 set of turbos, we can give him that one for free. And we just have to build the manifold for it. And that one would probably be better than...
And then I could make
that works perfect.
make the 600 horsepower goal on probably 10 PSI.
Yep, they clear. They just have to be moved that back one a little tiny bit, that's all.
You can also get those...
I have some in this box somewhere, actually. I ordered some.
You don't even know what I was going to say, Kyle.
Oh, you were going to say those little spark plug heat wire thingamajiggies. That one's mounted. This one's now mounted to there. Tokyo actually put all the fuel injectors in. These are the Snake Eater Performance 1500s. And Dan's still working on playing with lines. Playing with lines. Hose. Playing with hose.
Hey.
So here's Alien Trash Kitty stream on Twitch playing games. We'll pause that for a second. I ended up putting our valve covers on, but it kind of makes the engine, I think, here. They make it look a lot better. And then our ATI damper is actually going to make it look better again, an electric water pump. It's actually coming together. It's being a decent unit here. I'm almost ashamed that I'm going to have to weld some bungs in this to run catch can lines, because I got to ruin the chrome polish on it. I don't know. What should we do here? I mean, couldn't I drill 2 holes right here and vent the crankcase through this piece? Probably. However, if I do weld into these, I can always get these like powder coated black. That'd be kind of cool too. I was gonna dive under the car and put my converter bolts in. I think we're just gonna call it a night here in a minute. Dan's putting on the line in the back. He's got one from the pump to the filter. Now we're going filter up to the engine. Crawling. There he is, crawling down the side of the car. For once, it's not me on the floor, which is kind of nice. Get that new shirt dirty.
I was just going to say, you got me the garage shirt. The whole point of it is to get it dirty, isn't it?
Yeah, and then wash it, I guess, because it's still a nice shirt.
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me! Why does it keep happening like this? I'm starting to hate automatic transmissions. Like, these converter pads are like a 1/4 inch too far in. They need to be out just a touch to fit in our flywheel holes. This is so stupid. It's really starting to piss me off. You bust ass, you get like 2 steps ahead. Now you got to pull the whole engine back out again, and you got to get a new flywheel. This is so dumb. I hate it. I hope you guys can feel my stress right now. It's radiating off me, I bet. It's like this aura around my face. I mean, luckily it's only like 10 minutes to get out, but it's still a pain in my ass because nothing was fully bolted up, and then we just undid these and it comes right off. So we'll get the transmission off here and kind of figure out what we're doing now, I guess. All right, we're gonna measure this here in real time, just like the ShamWow guy, and then we're gonna go beat a hooker. I'm just kidding about the measuring in real time thing. So, center to center on this is 9 3/8. Center to center on this is 9 5/8. On this one, 9 1/2 on this one. So, it's, like I said, it's just slightly too short to use these slotted ones, but we do have the other converter over there. Let's just see what that one is. This one is 9 3/8 as well, so there's something wrong with my flex plate. Don't know why my flex plate is like this. This should have been like a generic LS thing, but these are for big block maybe? I don't know. What size converter is this? To measure the diameter of the converter, it is a 9.5 inch converter. So since these slotted holes right here are probably like half the width of this two out, I think I'm just gonna take the Dremel, we'll grind that down just a little tiny bit, like slot it just a little bit further, and then these should work in here. Gee, these ones don't even fit through that hole, but they fit through this hole. And they fit through, not that hole, but they fit through that one. What a complete fuckery we have going on here today. We ended up just slotting the holes a little bit now, and the bolts will fit through to the converter. Easy peasy fix. So it's bolted up with our washer on there to get the right spacing on the converter. I'm gonna throw the starter in while we're here anyways, just because it'll be way easier. And then I have to tap the plug in the trans for an MPT plug because that one's a little bit stripped out too. So I'll do that while it's out and then I'll put it all back in. Do what you gotta do sometimes, man. Gotta get running. We gotta be racing. Racers. We totally found our next problem. The starter doesn't fit when our coils are in place. Looks like we need to be shifted over some here. So we probably have to redo that and shift these over just a little bit, but then this one might not reach. Constant problems, no solutions. Plan and conquer. What we did here was I actually just moved this coil on the outside of the bracket, which allowed me to move all these over just slightly, and it moved the hole from here to here, which was enough to clearance this on the starter. A little bit inconvenient, but it's gonna work out for us. Tighten that down, put it back on, and we actually have these boots to put on top of the wires as well to help with the heat management. Dumb! I ordered these on Amazon. This side will fit over the wire. This side has a metal ring inside of it that you can't fit anything through. I couldn't even fit my peen through that, and my peen's smaller than this wire. Well, after some decent wienering around, it's back in here again. Dan's working on the fuel lines again. Still again. I'm just buttoning up some things, running this coolant crossover, our steam line. Just trying to get everything that we need to get it to fire up. Gonna have to buy some plugs for the end of the manifold so we can actually do a test with it. And it's gonna have to be bolted down for sure. It's probably gonna have to be bolted down, yes.
Maybe bolt it down. It might help.
I think I might put some, I mean, if we're not, it's gonna be iffy if I can put some lines in the valley right here. Some vent lines. Instead of like messing up our cool valve covers now, because they actually look pretty decent. This might be the 25th day in a row it started raining. But we did install a portion of our, when it shits itself, it all ends up in here diaper thing. That just got mounted to the back of these bolts right here. The little tabs, you just pull it tight. We gotta do the back ones. I probably put it up here somewhere. I want to put the dipstick and stuff in before we do that and get it started. That way we can do whatever. I did mount the oil filter. It's gonna go right here. And after looking at it, we might have to move that unless we go through right here with the exhaust. But it is starting to look pretty good. Dan's still doing the fuel lines.
Nah.
Nuh-uh. They're almost done. What up, what up, what up? Day 3 of filming. We left off, we needed some fittings for the fuel lines to be able to test those out. I bought one of these. Don't mind the cap. This is actually a JIC fitting. So if you're stuck and you don't have the AN fitting you need, but you have a hydraulic hose place nearby, just get a JIC 37 degree fitting and they fit. So it's like JIC 8 to JIC 10 and that'll work. The cap is actually for my oil return line. Only because we're not running a turbo right now and we don't want oil to fall out of the return line. And then I also bought some plugs for the intake manifold here so we can vacuum test this. Make sure we have no leaks. I think there might be leaks with these gaskets that I have. They're real thick. They're made for like a stock truck manifold or something. I did order flat ones from Summit. We just have to wait for them to come in. And that's the plan. We're gonna try and get this thing to run. Actually, I hooked up the starter earlier and I didn't show anybody. But these buttons here on the firewall, this one and the one on the other side in the same spot, These can actually bump the car over when there's power to the battery. So it's neat if you have like adjustable rockers here, you need to bump the engine. There's actually 2 buttons right here on the firewall that'll do it. We've got all the fuel lines up. I just had a leak on the front, but I tightened the fitting, so I'll get Paul to, nice shirt actually, I didn't even notice it when you walked in.
Just got it, just showed up yesterday.
Dang, lucky. Okay, I'll get you to join those wires up in the back.
Okay.
Just to the battery, positive and negative. Not positive and negative, but just positive and negative. And then we'll see if it leaks anymore.
Are you ready?
Yep. Yeah, hold on. We got a leak back here on this rail. Okay, give it another go. Might have to actually take those. Keep going.
I hear fuel.
Oh, that's probably a bad sign.
It's coming out of the back bumper.
Yeah, it is. That's the return line. So we didn't make this line. This one came with the car, and it's leaking out the backside of this fitting.
Is that a dash 8?
Yes. Come on, don't leak this time. Wasting too much race gas now.
Yeah, this testing for leaks cost about $60 somewhere. Oh, that whole line. Or did that one just come from the top?
It looks like it's spitting out the same spot.
Literally that whole line, like,
What the lines did Carrie give me here?
it literally looked like it was leaking. Like the whole thing. 0 leaks.
So, not leaking now. Finally got it to prime and no leaks anywhere. Finally, all 3 of those hoses didn't work. We put 3 different hoses on the rear from that last section. They all leaked somewhere, so they're probably just old and shit. Now we're gonna put oil in it, trans oil, and then we gotta do the ECU, bolt down the intake manifold, and it should be ready to fire, I think, I hope, maybe. Whew, a little bit of work, we're at this point now. Intake is sealed, plugged off all the plugs here, got our map sensor, a little bit of tape holding this plug, hopefully that holds. Fuel pressure, oil pressure, there's fluid in the engine, fluid in the trans liners are just looped. So technically, if I go hit this bump button over here, the engine should turn over, I hope. Yep, sounds healthy. I have to leave this oil cover off because there's no vents in these intake manifolds, and I don't want to not vent the crankcase. So now we're gonna bust out the laptop here, open up the ECU on this car, get the map off it, make sure we print screen every page so we know which input outputs we need to use for all the setup, like how it's wired into the Holly, load R-Tune into it, and then see if it's gonna fire. A little bit complicated, might need some updating, and I'll let you know how it goes. That's what I figured. Holly's weird like that, where you always have to have the latest thing even to pull a file off an old ECU. So I can't even retrieve the file without updating the firmware, and if I update the firmware, it deletes the file, so we might have to start from scratch, and I don't know what all the in and outputs are. So now we're foobarred, unless they have the tune stored somewhere on a computer, which would be nice. So all we did was just load R-Tune in it. This is from when I crashed the car, essentially. When I turn the fuel pump on, I actually just put it from the ice box. It won't crank over. What do I crank over from here? Didn't work. We'll totally just pull out a spark plug wire. See if we got spark here. So we have no spark right now, which means we probably don't have power to the coils. I believe power goes to the coils and then gets grounded out. So we should be able to just pull off one of our coil harnesses and see if we have main power. All right, I have no injector or coil power. They're both spliced into the same one and they go through into a relay on the inside. So I gotta find what's not turning on the inside to get power out here to get those two things firing. So that's what I'm gonna try and do now. And I knew it was gonna come down to wiring to get this thing to start today. Well, it always does, actually. All right, I have this wire connected to our fuel injector here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test to see if this relay, I think is what it is. We should get an ohms reading on this. So I'll put it here where you can see it. But right now it's unlimited, like it's just open. And then if I find the relay that supplies power to it, we should. So yeah, now we got 0.9 ohms on the reading, 0.7. So we need to get power to this relay. So now we gotta figure out what's turning that relay on and why it's not turning on. Instead of diving too deep into where my power is gonna go, I'm just gonna jump this one that is labeled coil that I know powers aftermarket coils, but we're gonna use it to power our coils. We'll use this one and we'll jump it to where the spade is in that relay, and that puts power out there. So we'll use the coil button up here to turn it on, just to test anyways, before we go digging around too much in there, because it seems like I'm moving wires and shit's like turning off. So I'm not, I don't know. I don't know, I'm lost. I'm just gonna do that and then we'll wing it, I guess. Here's our little jumper wire. We didn't have a red one, so we put a black one so it looks like a ground, just in case we do lose track of something. We're gonna ground this out and then we're definitely gonna burn down the car, or we're gonna burn it down by jumping wires. Either way, I guess, either way, it's gonna happen. Now when we test our wire that's out to the injectors to ground, it should be 12 volts. This is our cheap little multimeter here. DC volts, there we go, DC volts. This one, where's our other lead? We need to turn the coils on. There, 12 volts out to our injectors now. So this is all I had done. Pull that out. Plug that injector back in. I can't, for some reason, this button up here for the starter does not start the car right now, so we're gonna turn the ECU on, the coils on, fuel pump. That was supposed to be fuel pump. I knocked out the connector by accident. Should work now. Let's see. Suck it, science! Look at that. Sounded like a champ. Now we just need a turbo kit. She's smoking a little bit. Probably my greasy fingers. That sounded really loud. I can understand why big block open header national bracket guys run 1150s all day now. So we're not leaking anything except for a little bit of trans fluid where our NPT plug is. I'm gonna have to redo that, drop the trans fluid, obviously, that sucks, but that's one step further. I'm glad that we got it running, especially before getting too far and realizing that this block isn't gonna work. That was my main objective today, is make sure that after the crash and after we welded the block, it was gonna work out fine. Torque converter's in there, that's good. Everything seems like it was running perfect. So now we just need a turbo for it, which should be the next video. I should have the turbo. We can start making our turbo kit, and then it's to button up like all the small little things. Like the wiring is a big, I don't want to be at the track, make vibration with the car, and have the wiring cut out on me, because that would be stupid. But at least we figured out what our issue is. What it is the way they had it set up for the small block Ford was they had their coils on a separate wire that didn't use the regular ECU power relay. So we just bypassed that by using their relay with the button to turn on the coils. So it'll probably just end up doing that. I'll just splice those together. But yeah, I'm super stoked about it, man. Super, super happy. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Peace easy. Get that V.